G'day viewers, this is Troy from Troy's Digital Arts channel. My AC power supply is now complete. I've done the final touches to it since making the last video, and I've riveted the front plate to the rest of the unit. So it's now completely assembled. So here you've got the sockets at the front, each labelled accordingly. So the top one is center tap 10 volts, so 10 volts, 0 volts, connected to earth, 10 volts, and total of 20 volts. Here you've got, I should have labelled it 250 volts because it's actually 250 volts, not 240 volts. But anyway, 250 volts, 0 volts, 250 volts. It's earthed at one of the 250 volt windings, not at the center tap as mentioned. So yep, we get earth there. So we had 250 volts each side, and we get a total of 500 volts. And these other windings, 4.5 volts, 44 volts, 6.3 volts for the valve heaters, and 5 volts. And the earth to connect the chassis of whatever device I'm using to the earth of this power supply unit. Now, the sockets the plugs I'm using for these sockets, the center tapped outputs. I'm using these plugs here. So I've got two of those, and for the other outputs I'm using these unusual looking 2-pin connectors, connector plugs. So I've got 4 of those. Anyway, going to the back of the unit, as mentioned, I've got the on-off switch, and I've got a fuse holder which is housing a 4 amp fuse. And that's how I've got it all connected at the back. I've riveted 2 pieces of metal to connect the 2 halves of the enclosure. So there we have it, my AC power supply unit all complete. Now I'm pretty much ready to get on with the rest of the scope tube TV project, which I'll be working on. The driver circuitry, the deflection circuitry, and etc, etc. Anyway, that's pretty much about it. Stay tuned for the next video where I'm working on the next part of the scope tube TV project. This is Troy from Troy's Digital Arts channel signing out.